Things are getting out of control in Turkey regarding a mine disaster, and some are saying, hey, let's just blame the Jews. Erdogan is the current prime minister of Turkey, and a conservative newspaper that supports Turkey's prime minister went on this insane anti-Semitic diatribe about a recent mine disaster, which killed 301 people, according to the International Business Times. The article was on the front page of Yeni Akit earlier this week, and it declared, listen to this, the son-in-law of Alp Gürkan, the owner of the Soma mine where the disaster occurred, is reportedly a Jew. The paper was, of course, condemned on social media. By some, others thought that it was actually a great argument that was being made. So this is the translation that we have. Listen to this. While the cartel media, which have Jewish partners, and the parallel media, which are in love with Jews, and the Western media, guided by Jews, are accusing the prime minister over the Soma disaster, it has been revealed that the son-in-law of Alp Gürkan, the owner of the mining company responsible for the disaster, is a Jew, and he changed his name to Mahir. It was written in Yeni Akit, according to the translation. The paper is a successor to another paper that was forced to close after its owner was sued for defaming the military and was fined for describing gay people as perverts. You can always just resort to blaming the Jews, right, Lewis? Hey, the owner's son-in-law by marriage is reportedly Jewish. That's really the issue here. There's a Jew somewhere involved.
Hey, if this was some type of safety issue, I think it's perfectly legitimate to start pointing fingers at the owners of the mine. But the fact that their religion should really have nothing to do with it.
And especially when we're talking about the religion of the son-in-law of the owner of the mine. I mean, the religion of the son would be perfectly legitimate, but the son-in-law, Lewis, as we know, that's absolutely ridiculous. My prediction, some of our viewers defend the Jew blaming. Anytime we talk about Jews, more or less half of the YouTube comments are anti-Semitic, and people agree with this stuff. We did the story a week or two ago saying that this new study shows 1 in 4 adults in countries surveyed hold anti-Semitic beliefs. About half of the responses we received to that story were messages that contained anti-Semitic stereotypes or claims.
Yep, it's incredible, but we have to keep reporting on this stuff, and we have to try and, I don't know, level people off a little bit here.
Why do you think, Lewis, that it is way more acceptable to be anti-Semitic than to be against other minority groups? I have different speculations.
Because so many people are anti-Semitic. I mean, that's why. You're just part of a bigger group when you're acting that way, when you say those things. It's more accepted because it's more common, it's more prominent.
We're going to have, I know that anytime Jews come up, there are questions about, David, I thought you were atheist or agnostic. How can you be agnostic and Jewish? And we've explained that, of course, Jews are an ethno-religious group, and I identify with the ethnic and cultural side of that. We're going to actually have someone on the program to explain to us more about that, and also to talk about a history of anti-Semitism and a bunch of other stuff. I think it's going to be fascinating, and we already know, Lewis, about half of the response to that interview will be anti-Semitic. Next, we will have an interview talking about climate change McCarthyism, and a so-called litmus test to be a respected climate scientist. I have a feeling I may not agree with the guest. That's next. We are member supported, and there's a whole other show that we do just for our supporters. Get all of those member benefits right now by going to davidpakman.com/membership.